In ancient times, when kings ruled vast empires and nations lived in fear and reverence, true faith was a rare and precious treasure. The people of Israel walked under God's covenant, preserving sacred customs and seeking divine justice. Amid this setting, Jonah was a simple man, with a pure heart and unwavering faith. His modest life was dedicated to his community and constant prayer. A dreamer and God-fearing, he carried a desire to serve, even knowing his mission could be difficult. His destiny was intertwined with the Lord's will, though he did not yet fully understand it. One day, Jonah received an extraordinary vision. The voice of God commanded him to go to Nineveh, a corrupt city, to preach repentance and divine justice. The call thundered in his heart, bringing a heavy responsibility for such a humble man. Overwhelmed by doubt and fear, he felt unworthy and unprepared. The image of the hostile, sinful crowd terrified him. How could he, a simple prophet, face such a task? Doubt nearly made him flee, and his heart was restless. Distressed, Jonah sought counsel from elders and religious leaders, longing for a sign to clear his doubts. He visited sacred places, read ancient texts, and prayed intensely for direction. He heard stories of prophets who faced the impossible and were sustained by God's grace. Slowly, he realized the call was real and crucial for many salvation. Running away was not the answer. Trusting in God would be his path. After nights of prayer and reflection, divine peace filled his spirit. Jonah understood that despite his weaknesses, God chose him for a greater purpose. He decided to accept the call, surrendering to God's will even without understanding everything. His once heavy heart now beat strongly with courage. He knew faith would be his light and strength. Preparing to depart, he was aware of the sacrifices ahead, but confident in the Almighty's protection. Jonah set out for Nineveh, but his soul was filled with fears. Before arriving, he made an unexpected decision. He tried to flee the mission by boarding a ship bound for Tarshish. The sea became the stage for his first trials. A terrible storm erupted, and the sailors feared for their lives. Jonah realized the responsibility followed him even to distant waters. Fear, doubt, and guilt mixed as the storm tested his faith. Amid the storm, Jonah witnessed the sailors' solidarity, men of different beliefs who joined forces against danger. They cast lots to find the cause of the calamity, and the lot fell on Jonah. He recognized the importance of truth and humility. Even in foreign lands, sincere faith can find allies. This experience strengthened his spirit, showing that God acts through people, even those who do not yet know him. Inside the great fish's belly, Jonah faced an inner battle against despair, guilt, and the temptation to give up. Evil manifested in dark thoughts, trying to make him abandon faith and succumb to hopelessness. But Jonah sought strength in fervent prayer and remembering divine mercy. The struggle was silent but intense, a test of his loyalty. Though isolated, his heart remained steadfast, resisting evil's attacks. During those 3 days inside the fish, Jonah felt the weight of loneliness and suffering. He wept for lost freedom, the distance from family, and the fear of failing his mission. The pain seemed unbearable, and darkness enveloped him like a veil. He questioned divine justice and wrestled to understand the purpose of such intense suffering. Still, deep in the abyss, faith brought comfort, allowing him to endure pain and find hope. In the silence and darkness, Jonah had a profound revelation. He understood that his mission went beyond warning Nineveh. It was part of a greater divine plan seeking salvation and repentance. He grasped God's infinite mercy and how even the furthest sinner can be touched by grace. The prophecy revealed itself as an invitation to transformation for all humanity. This discovery renewed his hope and determined his return. Jonah emerged from the fish's belly, strengthened and renewed, his faith unshakable amid trials. The experience showed that trusting God is essential, even when all seems lost. He learned to pray fervently, meditate on divine words, and seek wisdom in every step. Difficulties shaped him, making him a stronger and wiser prophet, ready to face the challenge. His soul testified to faith's power to overcome any obstacle. Upon reaching Nineveh, Jonah witnessed divine miracles. His preaching caused the entire city to turn to God, and collective conversion was an extraordinary grace. The impossible became reality. Hardened hearts softened, sinners wept repentant, and evil began to be conquered. Storms calmed, diseases healed, and peace reigned. God's hand guided every step of the transformation, confirming the prophet's sacred and blessed mission. At the decisive moment, Jonah faced the greatest challenge, sustaining his preaching before kings, priests, and a people hardened by sin. The clash between divine word and the forces of evil was intense and suspenseful. Many rejected the call to repentance, but Jonah remained firm. His voice echoed powerfully, radiating the light of truth. He was the chosen instrument to fulfill God's will, and the spiritual battle reached its peak. With divine help, Jonah witnessed faith's victory over darkness. Nineveh, once full of sin, was reborn in justice and faith. The oppressed were freed, the sick healed, and hardened hearts opened to divine love. Faith's restoration brought a new era of peace and hope. The prophet's victory testified to the transformative power of the sacred word and the importance of following the divine call. Jonah left an eternal legacy. His courage and faith inspired generations to keep alive the flame of hope and justice. His example taught that true power lies in faith and obedience to God, even when the path is difficult. Society changed, embracing values of compassion and righteousness. The prophet's story became a beacon for those facing doubts and fears, reminding that transformation begins in the heart. After fulfilling his mission, Jonah experienced spiritual ascension, a moment of profound grace and peace. His faith was rewarded with eternal blessing, and his soul found rest in the Creator's arms. He left the earth transformed, a faithful and loving prophet. The divine reward was not just a prize, but the certainty that true life lies in communion with God. Jonah became a living example that sincere faith leads to salvation. Thus, Jonah's story leaves a powerful message: to trust in the divine plan, even when the mission seems impossible. Life challenges us at every step, but faith can turn despair into hope, fear into courage. May we learn from Jonah to hear the call of the heart, resist temptation, and seek the light of truth. May his journey inspire faith, love, and perseverance in all who listen, reminding that God is always present, guiding and sustaining those who believe.